Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing our November TBR video. Today we're looking at what I'll be reading through this month. And I want to keep the list small this month. I kept it small last month and I still didn't end up reading everything on it. So I do want to try to keep it as small as I possibly can. I know that, I probably won't get to all of these books. And some of them are carryovers from last month that I really want to get to and I just haven't gone around to. This weekend is fairly free for me, so I might be able to get some of these out of the way. And the good thing is that I still have a huge backlog of videos that I want to record, so it's not like I'm strapped for content, as it were. I just need to get around to making it, because I really haven't. But anyway, that's not really all that important. Today, let's talk about what we're reading this month. So to start off, I guess, in terms of the Sword and Sorcery Book Club, I don't really have anything particular planned. I know that some people have been calling November Nemedian November as a way to continue on from Sumerian September. I thought about joining that and kind of trying to make that a thing for the channel, but I decided that it wasn't really beneficial to me to do that because I was just going to fail it anyway. So I'll just continue on with the normal standard content that I make for that channel, which in this coming month should be Scourge of the Serpent 2. It should be the Savage Sword of Conan number 11? 12 maybe? I can't remember. I think it's 11. And Almeric, because I want to review it. I haven't gotten around to it yet. And if I have the time for it, a kind of year-end review for year 2 of Titan Comics is Conan the Barbarian series, right? Really Heroic Signatures, but Titan Comics is the publisher at the end of the day. Heroic Signatures is the licensor or the license holder, right? And so that's probably what I'm going to do for that. That should be about a week, one video a week for the month. And I might not do something during the week of Thanksgiving because I'm going to have family over and it's kind of annoying to record while they're here. So we'll figure it out. But that's it for that. So Scourge of the Serpent 2, which I haven't read yet, even though it came out a few days ago. Then Savage Sword of Conan 11, if it comes out. And maybe 1 or 2 other things here and there. For the normal channel, for this, I don't really have anything major in terms of proper novels. I do want to keep reading through the Onyx Throne, and I've been thinking about how to review it, and I think it's probably best for me to review it based on the portion of the book that I'm on. So if I remember correctly, the book is divided into 3 parts, maybe 2. So the first part is basically like arriving on this new planet and going through the journey to accept the Onyx Throne, right? And then it seems like the second part is a relationship building aspect. And then the third part should be getting to the first checkpoint on the way to getting the throne back, right? So that might be how I structure the review for that. I want to do it because I want to get a review out because the guy gave me the book, right? He reached out to me. He was the author. He was like, hey, I have this book. Can you please review it? And I said yes. And it's been months and I haven't done it. So I want to find a way to make videos about it. And I don't want to give him a video that isn't up to par to my normal videos, right? So I'm still trying to think about how to do that. So that's my major reading project this month. In terms of comic books, I don't really have too many. I do want to read through Heavy Metal Magazine number 3. I got this last month and I haven't gotten around to reading it. I do have to review number 2 as well. So if I get the chance, I'll do that soon. But Heavy Metal is a really interesting magazine, and I quite like it. I think it's really enjoyable, and I kind of feel bad for, spending the money on this and not actually treating it that well in terms of like getting around to reading it in a, quick pace and getting around to reviewing it quickly enough. But at the same time, well, I just haven't really had time, so I can't really change anything about that situation until my semester ends, right? So we'll see how that continues on. But I do love that magazine a lot. I just don't have the time necessary to really sink my teeth into it. Then I want to read Bone, Book 3, Eye of the Storm. I've read the first 2. I quite like them. This is the end of the kind of first portion of the saga, if that makes sense. There's 9 books total. There's a few side stories as well. And I was going to do it by like portion of story, right? So the first 3 volumes were going to be one video. The next 3 volumes were going to be another. And then the next 3 were going to be the final volume or the final video. and then side stories would be their own videos as I got them. But the more I think about it, the more I think that they should be separate videos. Each book deserves its own video, because all of these stories, even though they tie into a larger narrative, are more or less self-contained within themselves, right? So I do think I'll do it that way. And I also have a friend that asked me to borrow these, and I haven't let him borrow them yet because I'm using them. So I want to be able to read this as soon as possible and review it as soon as possible so I can hand them over. Because I don't know, it's just been like 3 weeks since he asked and I haven't given it to him. So that's, kind of my first priority for this month. And then I want to read this. We Called Them Giants. This is by Kieran Gillen, with art by Stephanie Hans and Clayton Cowles. And this is a really interesting story from what I understand. I got this for about $10, which is a really good steal, since this is a $20 book. It's half price. And Tiffany from Comic Pop sings its praises a lot. And she thought that it was a really good story. And it's a self-contained story. It's an original graphic novel. So it should be relatively easy for me to read and enjoy and hopefully review in a timely fashion. So I think that's a good idea for my limited amount of reading time, right? In terms of manga and light novels, I want to continue on with One Piece Heroines. I want to buy the second one, and I want to buy the Law one as well, the Law novel. But I don't like buying books before having read the next one most of the time. I prefer to not do that, although I do sometimes, depending on, a sale and stuff like that. So I want to read this before I pick up the second one, and I want to read that one before I pick up the Law novel. So I've not read this at all, but it's a really short book, and there's not that much text per page, so I should be able to get through this quite quickly. I just have to actually sit down and do it, and finding the time to sit down is really what the challenge has been so far. So we'll see. I also have Sora and the House of Monsters, book 5. This is a series that I love. I really enjoy this, and these are pretty quick reads. There's a lot of world building and a lot of character building in them. But ultimately, once that gets out of the way and they get into the building aspect of the story, that flows pretty quickly and quite fast. And so I want to get around to it because if I remember correctly, the next one in the series is about to come out or has already come out or will come out soonish. So I do want to be caught up to the story as soon as possible. Plus, it's just one that I really, really love. So I want to read this as soon as possible for myself, just for my own enjoyment. And I love the art style here a lot. So yeah, there you go. And then finally, I want to read Isaac. Isaac is a story that I've already read before to some extent, but this is the American edition. I read the Spanish from Spain edition, or the Spanish edition, right? And this is basically, according to the back here, and I actually agree with this quite well, it's Vinland Saga meets Shogun in this historical epic following a Japanese warrior's journey to Europe. So it's actually the opposite version of Shogun, right? Where Shogun is a Japanese war that suddenly has a white guy in it. This is a European war that suddenly has a Japanese dude in it, actually 2 of them. And I love the art style here. I think that the storytelling is quite good as well. And the war scenes are really, really good because this is, when war finally gets guns. And these Japanese characters that show up are actually really good marksmen. And so they're important to the war effort here in Europe. And a lot of them seemingly are brought to Europe to go to war in order to kind of act like mercenaries. But most of them end up getting killed quite quickly, except for Isaac himself and the guy that he's chasing because of a revenge quest, right? And it's a really good story. The fact that I've read it before will make this an easier read than usual, and I want to read this so I can pick up the next volume, which is already out, and I think even the third one's out already. If I end up getting Baki this month, because I've been planning to buy it, but I haven't gotten around to it. If that happens and I do buy it, that will also be slotted into my reading for this month. Probably, depending on when I get it, it might supersede some of the other stuff because the Baki series is interesting. It's not one that I'm super interested or familiar with, but it's one that I want to read through. And so I want to give it a go. And because the first printing of each of those volumes is going to have a nice, chroming effect to it. It's going to have, a shiny element to it. I just want to pick those up as soon as possible. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's my reading. list for this month. We'll see if I get through it. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time.